Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Minxie, and today we are going to be doing a pick a card reading. That is, what has fear prevented you from doing in this life so far? Because hopefully in addressing it, we're going to be able to weed it out and take care of it, and therefore it's not going to prevent you from doing what your soul or you would like to be actually doing in this life. So I'm going to give you a second with these cards to use your intuition to pick which one is best for you. Pile number 1 has the Queen, pile number 2 has the Cartographer, and pile number 3 has the Enchanter. And if you prefer to pick with crystals, I'll get that ready for you. Okay, there we go. Pile number 1 has Carnelian. Really pretty carnelian. Pile number 2 has a fossilized amber. And pile number 3 has a tiger's eye. Right there, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give you a minute with these to choose, hone in on your intuition, and pick which pile you think is best for you. It could also be more than one pile, so just trust whatever your intuition is telling you, and then we will begin. Okay, I'll see you there. Okay guys, if you chose pile number 1, the Queen or the Carnelian, this is your pile. So you chose the Queen. The first thing that's coming up for this is there's this sword that's almost lodged or stuck in this outdated, rigid, stubborn thought that is inside of you somewhere that's not your own, but it's almost solidified inside of you, made you feel as though it's your own. But the thing is that it's not. But it's really strong, which might feel like it's your own. You know, you see this sword and you see that it's stuck in something or it's lodged in something, and the first thing that you tell yourself is, I'm not strong enough to get that sword out of there. I'm not capable of doing that. Look at that sword. That sword is it's so down in there. Like, how am I gonna get that out? And the thing is that you're not gonna be able to do it if you don't try. You know, you've really got to move around those thoughts and tell yourself, you know what? I am young Arthur. That stone does not have control over you. That stone is not stronger than you are. You are stronger than that thing. You know, you've just got to, through every day, one step at a time, get yourself there. You know, even if that means that every day you're walking up to that sword and you're like, all right, let's do it. And you're just grabbing on that thing and you're pulling it, and you're doing that once every day. Okay? Even if you're not getting the whole sword out of the stone at once, if you go back and you do that every single day, honey, you're gonna budge that sword. You're gonna move that thing. And then one day, you're gonna pull it like you are pulling a sword out of a sheath. And you're gonna surprise yourself, but you're gonna do it. And you're gonna realize that those thoughts that you had that were keeping you back, they weren't yours. They were misplaced. They were told to you. Somebody, I don't know, something convinced you and attached you, and it, maybe through life experiences, you know, you felt like that thought was validated and it was reiterated. It's almost like the universe was trying to say, like, oh, well, maybe they were right, but that's not true. That's just not true. Life is just wild, and it throws us a lot of very difficult things. But the thing is just as the warrior and the success and the powerhouse that you are, you're here right now. You have the power and the capability and the desire to overcome this stuff that you feel like is holding you back. And that's, like, let me tell you something, that's all you need, okay? That's all you need. That's your first step. So you cling on to that, because that thing is gonna be stronger than whatever this stuff that's trying to hold you back and convince you otherwise. Okay, and I'm talking from experience here, okay, which is why I just get so passionate, okay? I just want you to know you're gonna make it through and it's gonna be okay. The universe is coming to tell you that's not your case anymore, okay? That's not what's going on here anymore. So we need you to walk up to that sword and we need you to grab a hold of it. And we need you to start trying to take that thing out every day, just bit by bit. Okay, and then we've got the 5 of Cups over here. And we know Cups is emotion. We've got a lot of blue in the background here, but we also have red. And red, for me at least, is associated with Mars. It's associated with vigor. It's associated with that passion, right? The ability to do, okay? And so that's where you need to be right now. Just try, day by day, because I promise you, you're gonna soon enough realize that these things weren't true at all. It's almost like through this action, you're gonna convince yourself that, oh my God, those things weren't true. That was a lie. I can do it. Okay, but let's get some other cards going on here and see if we can get a more in-depth explanation of maybe some of the things that you have endured and what you can do moving forward to get this sword out of that stone. And then we'll put the 4 that just fell out over here for you guys. Okay. Okay, the first card that fell out was Neon. Okay. The second card that fell out was Technetium. The third card that fell out was Helium. And the fourth card that fell out was Platinum. Excuse me, candle. Okay. Actually, let me set this up. There we go. Alright, let's talk about this. So, let's talk about this. This seems definitely like a shadow aspect. Both of these, actually. Honestly, it's kind of making me feel like you might have had parents or mentors that were difficult on you, but also hid part of themselves that would make you more comfortable with this thing that you're currently struggling with. So the thing is that, a lot of times in life, the adults around us when we're growing up seem to have an affliction with the mere fact that imperfection exists. And, that, just like us, they're going to have stuff that is difficult or hard to get over or still, ruminating in the way that they act every single day. Their own traumas, their own stuff that they carry, right? And some of you might have realized that. Some of you might have seen that mask come off. Some of you might have had that moment that some of us have in our adult lives when we look at our parents and being like, oh my God, you're just as much as a bumbling fool as I am. You know what I mean? If not more, because sometimes, girl, that's just the case. Sometimes they are more. But the thing is here is that these people, whoever they were, they created this false perception. It's almost like you were wearing, it's almost like they told you that your vision wasn't right and they gave you this pair of glasses for you to wear walking out in the world, and they're like, oh no, this is your prescription, trust, this is your prescription, trust. And then you find out that there wasn't even nothing wrong with your eyes and you did not even need those glasses in the first place. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's just the metaphor that was coming through. They could also be your own shadow aspects, parts of yourself that need tending to, that have not been tended to yet. But honestly, it more so seems like this is something that was outside of you, something environmentally, something that, it's people that have said things to you that have drastically altered the very reality of your situations and capabilities. Okay, and then with Helium here, which I know you're probably not gonna love this because I don't love this when I get told this, but it's just the sheer fact of things. But with Helium here, honey, the universe is telling you that you have to let go. You've got to surrender this thing. It's like you're feeling kind of topsy-turvy, but you're also free-falling at the same time, right? There's just this, it's almost giving me that scene from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory when they drink the bubbly fizz and they're all floating up to the ceiling, right? There's something about you letting go that you're not gonna fall down, right? There's this fear that you have that if I just let go, if I don't believe this stuff, if I don't let my anxiety, guide me through life, what am I gonna do, right? I've been there. I absolutely get that. There are people in my family too who are just like riddled with anxiety, but I remind them, like I remind myself, and my therapists have reminded me that anxiety is sometimes a false alarm, okay? And in this situation, this anxiety that you're feeling, this is a false alarm. And if you just let yourself go, if you go towards those things that you know in your soul you're supposed to be going towards, you're gonna fall up. You're not gonna fall down. And in falling up, you have the platinum card. And this right here, look at this. This is an Adonis who has the whole world in their hands, okay? So this is you just embracing your power. You put on your crown, you standing up, looking good. You've got all of this right here with you, and it's close to you. Because once you get there, you're not gonna let anybody take that away from you, okay? Okay, so that's this. And then we have one more deck that wants to talk with you guys. So, okay, and you have one more deck that wants to talk with you guys. So let's get into that and see what comes through. So what can they do moving forward? Okay. First we've got here Lord of Wands. Love that card. And then what do we get here? Three of Pentacles. Great. Horse. And then Ace of Cups. Okay. Ooh, girl. Oh my God. See, this is what happens when you don't pay attention. I've been putting off making this YouTube channel for I can't even tell you how long. I've just been so nervous for no reason. Imposter syndrome whooping my butt. And of course, something like this would also happen. But you know what? That's okay. That's life. This stuff just happens in life. And so, okay, can we not? Let's at least get it to stop. All right. Now that I have a whole hole in my tarot box. Okay, that's okay. That's okay, because here I am, and here you are, and we're doing this together. All right. So, okay, back to this whole business right here. Lord of Wands. What I really like about this card, and I'm going to lift it up so y'all can see because I think it's going to be important. What I really, really love about this card, not the ash on my fingernail, please. Okay, what I really, really love about this card is that down here, right, you've got this sort of sinister looking snake, and it's almost like he's trying to say all of this stuff to try to convince you that, it's going right back to this Five of Cups thing over here, right? These things that you've been told that are actually not true, but you've been convinced that they're true. Right here, we've got an alchemist. An alchemist knows exactly what to do with that energy when it's sent to them. They transmute it. They make it into something that's actually going to benefit them and elevate them in their life. And so that is what they're asking you to do here, okay? The Sith, protection, you're elevated, you're meditating, and you're actively changing these things around you to benefit you and not hinder you, okay? All right, and then the next card we have right here is the Three of Pentacles. This is our classic collaboration and community. There's definitely somebody in your life, someone wise, someone sage in your life who has been down a similar route as this before. And they want to share their experience and knowledge with you. It's either that or you are this wise sage person. And through the difficulties and things that you're learning through this alchemization process that you are going to be embarking on, you're going to gain so much knowledge. You're going to gain so much experience. And that experience you're going to be able to use in life later on to help those who felt similar to you, when you were going through those things, when you were dealing with imposter syndrome, when you were believing that there were things that you couldn't do that you could, in fact, do. You know, so reach for those things. What is it? What is this? Hang on a second. What is that right there? Are those pomegranates? I think those are. If those are pomegranates that she's reaching for, then this could definitely also be a part of that shadow work aspect we've got going on over here, because pomegranates are related to Persephone, who is the queen of the underworld. And I know that sounds intimidating, but honestly, it's really not. The universe, its number one law is duality. Okay? That exists. It exists here, it exists there, it exists everywhere. And the underworld, that's just as much a part of life as, you know, the heavens, let's say. Those deities, those energies that are associated with the afterlife, you know, Persephone, Anubis, Morgan, you know, things like that. They are some of the Baba Yaga, right? They are some of the strongest, most magnificent, oh my God, just supportive and transformative energies that, you know, you could really ever communicate with spiritually. So please don't be intimidated by that. I'm somebody who has been intimidated by those things in the past, and let me tell you something. Oh, my trips to the underworld have been some of my favorites. So, you know, while sometimes, yes, they can be scary, sometimes they can be a little heavy, it's always worth it. It's always worth it. Okay, and then the last card here, we got Ace of Cups, which look at that, look how cute. Oh, that's so cute. So what we have going on here is, I would go ahead and say that this right here is these two alchemized and transformed. This is that divine feminine and that divine masculine. Once they've been healed and they're coming together in order for you to feel more whole. You know, we've got to integrate our underworld, our inner underworld sometimes, to make ourselves feel more whole, because one cannot be without the other. And that's nothing to fear. These things are nothing to fear. It's a natural part of life. It's a natural part of you. But once you integrate these two things together, ooh, it's going to be magic. It's going to be magic. It's going to be love. It's going to be tranquility. It's going to be and deliver you to this place that at this time right now, you've been questioning is if it's even possible for you. But let me tell you something, pile number one, it is possible for you. And if you address these things, not only will it be possible for you, but it'll be fated for you, okay? All right, pile number one, that's all that's coming in for you. Best of luck to you, and I thank you very, very much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next time. All right, bye. Hi, group number two. If you chose the Cartographer or the Fossilized Amber, then this is your group. Okay, so to start off, there's two energies that are coming through. One has to do with physical travel, exploration, especially going places by yourself, even like to a movie or out to dinner. And the second thing is, I guess, how do I want to say this? The way that it's coming through is refusing to see a clear end. Being at a place of decision and being stuck in that decision. You know, so definitely some indecision, but the indecision is coming from a lack of self-trust. Like this myth card. This myth card right here is very much giving me, like, you know, stories that you've been told or advice that's been given to you that is basically etched its way into your, what is the word I guess I want, your scheme of reactionary behaviors. It's what you pull from, right? It's how you're informed. It's where you act out of. You know, maybe there's been a situation that you've gotten to in the past and, you know, you feel a certain way about it, but then you ask somebody else for advice and you just go off of what they give you. Does that make sense? There's definitely something inside of you here that is really struggling to listen to your inner voice. your wants and your needs, and to trust them, to trust that those things are accurate and true. Yeah, I don't know. There's just a lot of like reliance on others and fear of individuation. All right, let's see what the other tarot cards have for you, group number 2. Okay. So, okay, you've got 4 that came out. So this first one, we'll move these up just a little bit. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. This first one is sulfur, and then scandium is next, and then you have bromine or bromine. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. And then potassium is your final card. Okay, so your authentic self, your true self, who you are really deep down inside, is right here. It's this person who looks back with discernment and understanding, but still moves forward. You know, with that candle lit towards what they want. Almost of like, I'm setting this intention for this thing to happen, and I know it's going to happen, and I'm going to allow this to light my way forward. And also, if you can see the look on her face, I'll bring it up to you. The way that she's looking back, right? It's not forlorn. She's looking back like, oh, and y'all thought. Okay, you thought, but guess what? Here I go. Sorry. Okay, sorry, I'm a child. Your sulfur card and your bromine card, I'm sorry again if I'm mispronouncing that. These 2 cards right here, these are the shadow aspects, the fear this is what's holding you back, honey. This is what is preventing you from being this explorer spirit that you really are inside. This, oh God, it's, you know, it's like, how do I want to explain this? Who you are really deep down inside, and maybe this is how you were when you were a child. Just this little free spirit, just like, what's that? Oh, what's that? Let's go here, let's go there, let's do this. I want to try this. I want to boop, 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 right? And maybe for some, I'm getting there was definitely parental influence, you know, and that could also be represented by these. That came up in group number 1, so that's absolutely possible. It also could have just been life experiences from living and being that free spirit. And, sorry guys, there was an airplane. Okay, so yeah, from living and being that free spirit. And maybe life, as life does, tussled you up a little bit because of that, right? And maybe that made you reactionary in how you push people away. Or maybe it made you solemn. You know, there's like a longing. This to me gives longing. It's a sadness, it's a longing. This is defense. This is definitely a defense card, or a very reactionary, you know, if you have a parent, this could be, especially if you were a adventurous little soul, you know, like myself, this could be a card that's reacting and restricting out of fear. And it might have been, you know, something from your lived experience that you've accidentally adopted as your own, and it's keeping you in this space right now, but you're supposed to be here. And how are you going to get here? How are you going to get here, group number 2? I want to start with this little guy right here, because bats are really on something. And what I mean by that is these guys show up for me specifically when I'm about to, or that I should lean into a really big transformation. Something that's really going to shift things up and change things up. This, to me, this is a little messenger of Persephone. This is a little rebirth baby. A little, I'm coming to you to let you know that this is what the echoes in the darkness are telling me about you, is that you need to listen to what the darkness is saying. You need to hear these things so that you can alchemize them and you can turn them into things that are going to bring you back to your most pure and authentic self, your more, that more free version of yourself, that you deserve to let loose, to engage in, because that's really who you are without fear hanging around you and restricting you. Okay, let's get our next group of cards and see what else they want to share with you. So how many minutes do this one? Okay. What is it? Ooh. Okay, we've got the Lovers. Interesting. It also might have, this is the Lovers uproar. Well, okay, hang on a second. This is going to be about these next few cards that are coming, excuse me. This is going to be your remedy. Okay? So with the Lovers, it's like, one of two things. One, maybe you have a relationship, or there's going to be a relationship that's extremely healing for you. Okay. Boop. Next one is Lord of Pentacles. And I think is there one more? Yep. Oh, there she is. Okay. Where'd she go? On the floor, of course. Okay. Oh, yeah. And it's the Sun. Okay, that's great. I love that. So, pile 2, this is your remedy. This is how are you going to move on from this fear? How are you going to transmute this fear? How are you going to overcome, all this stuff that's blocking you? Now let's go to the Lovers. Again, it's going to be about 1 to 2 things I'm thinking here. It's either going to be a very healing relationship for you, that maybe it's going to bring you out of your shell. Maybe you're going to get into a relationship with someone who's going to be very adventurous, and they're going to be like, hey, do you want to go try out that new dumpling place? And you're going to be like, oh my God, I've been thinking about dumplings all day long. Yes. It's going to be that sort of, oh my God, this person gives me this ability, this reason, this gift to express that explorer self that you have inside. But maybe you're just a little too timid right now. Maybe there's just some things that are still, maybe there's just some things that are still kind of, clouding you, being a little heavy. What I will say about this, though, while this is wonderful, and I'm so happy for you that you have this in your life, just don't get lost in that, right? You want to be able to do it on your own, as well as with somebody. It's wonderful to be able to share that with somebody, but let this person introduce you to those things. Make it more comfortable for you, but don't allow them just to be the only door that you go through to reach these things, to reach that pure part of you, okay? Second part, Lord of Pentacles. So what can you do to, get this fear under control or reclaim yourself? I'm hearing get your money right. Okay, so that's definitely a message coming through for you. That's interesting. Okay, so I'm picking up on this energy of that there's some of the fear that you guys are experiencing, it's come from religious trauma. Okay, so what we have right here is this person that's transforming and elevating and moving beyond and above this religious trauma, regardless of the amount of voices that there are, contributing to the things that are holding you down. You're going to rise above it. You need to rise above it. And this right here, these are flames, I believe, but it's interesting that they're, blue and purple and white, because those are very healing colors to me. So, yes, while you might be going through a transformation, this is not a bad transformation, and I don't really even think it's going to be a transformation that necessarily burns this much. It's going to just be very healing and freeing to you. And then the last card that we have, which it's just such a good card to end on, is the Sun. Okay? So first, let's point out the duality here. Okay, there's the sun and there's the moon. There's the two becoming one. Okay? And what I'm getting from this card specifically is, in order for you to, oh my gosh, they almost kind of look alike. Oh, that's wild. In order for you to reach this most pure and authentic self of you, which is gonna make you feel like, you know, living, breathing sun when you are indulging in this part of yourself, when you're fully integrated in it and you're just living it every day, right? This is just, you're just gonna feel this all the time. That's really wonderful. But in order to get here, we have some water flowing. So there's definitely gonna be some emotions that come up, maybe need to get purged, but it's always worth it, because what's on the other side is just, it's enlightening and it allows you to feel more whole. You know, I can sense that there's a feeling of something missing, a feeling of something being off. And it's just because your soul is antsy, really is the best way for me to explain it. Your soul wants to get out there. And they want to do things, and that's what's going to make them happy. You know, yes, life is scary. Things are scary. Even relationships are scary. But the thing is that fear happens no matter what, okay? And hurt happens no matter what. So if you're afraid of getting hurt, just know that hurt is a part of life. Life is suffering, right? It's inescapable, and it's something that you cannot control, but that's okay. As much as it's disarming and you're like, how is that okay? It's okay just because it just is. And when you accept that, it just is. You open yourself up to a lot more experiences and opportunities that you may have shut yourself out or sheltered yourself away from before in fear of getting hurt. But don't feel that, you know, yeah, don't fear that. Don't fear that hurt. It's gonna come regardless. You know, it's just how life is, so you might as well lean into it and come out 10 times brighter on the other side. Okay, Pile 2. Well, that's all I have for you today, so thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and please comment if your reading resonated. I appreciate you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Okay, group number 3. Oh, your candle just went out. Oh boy. Well, I'll have to look into seeing what that means. Hi, group number 3. So if you chose the Enchanter or the Tiger's Eye, then this is your group. So, pile number 3. What is coming through for you on what has fear prevented you from doing so far in your life? Okay, this is interesting. So what's coming through here is, oh man, it's a restriction of knowledge. It is, oh man. Are you, okay. I'm getting very much like baby witch in a religious household. Or, you know, a more open-minded person in a conservative environment or situation. Or maybe, interesting, there's something about spirituality that very much intrigues you. Maybe it's not necessarily, you know, spirituality. This is gnosis. It could be, you know, what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm so sorry, I just blanked. It could be philosophies, like Gnosticism. It could be or Taoism, you know, things like that, Buddhism. There could be this whole realm and world of knowing that you are either, that you've already started looking into, or that you kind of like peek into, but you don't necessarily like allow yourself to look into the whole way. Very like one eye open, one eye closed situation is what I'm getting from here. And we have one eye over here too, so maybe that's relevant to that, of just like, yeah, there's this part of you, maybe it's your third eye, that is like, it's like just this knowing, this soul knowing. Definitely some sort of, I don't know, this card is extremely sticking out to me. Some sort of ancient philosophy. Yeah, you have a very, you know, philosophical mind. You're quite the little thinker. And you also, you know, it's interesting. It's like there's this huge dichotomy in you and the environment that you're in right now. Something's not right. Something is not right. And you know it, you know it, but there's something that is making it extremely difficult for you to accept it, because I know you see it, you know, got this eye open. There's a part of you that sees this, okay? There's a part of you that knows, but there's another part of you that either wants to believe that that's not the case and that's not true, or another part of you that maybe, I don't know, it's very much like you know, so, but maybe it just hasn't come full circle yet. It's not as clear, you know, maybe you feel like you need more, but that's not the case here. You don't need more. The thing that I feel like you really, really need is to trust yourself. Fear has prevented you from doing a lot in your life. Oop, I'm so sorry, honey. We have the strength card here. So you're definitely being called. It's interesting because there's a few things coming through. There's a knowing. There's a seeing, but there's a refusal to see is not the right word. There's an excuse not to see, if that makes sense. An excuse like, I need more evidence. Or an excuse like, maybe it's someone else's excuses. I just feel, though, that you're in a situation right now that is really drastically different from the person that you know and the interests that you know you have deep down inside. Because I see that you have, oh my God, can I just tell y'all, today has been filled with so much tomfoolery when I've been trying to film this for you all. I have had a fear. Here's my fear, was putting myself out there with these YouTube videos, okay? And in the first video, I accidentally burnt a deck. The second video, my camera battery died halfway through, and now I just spilt this water. What is going on? Oh my gosh. Whew. All right, so maybe the lesson here for myself and also for you is that even when we push past our fears, even when we try, we still might run into a lot of bumps along the way. And that's okay. Not everything's gonna be perfect. I guess what matters is that you try. So, oh my God. All right, let's figure out where these fears, where they've come from. Okay, let's figure out where they've come from, and then let's figure out what we have to do to help remedy them. So, what can we do for group number 3? Okay, the first card that we have, group number 3, is Selenium. I'm gonna leave that right here. And we've got 3 more coming, so, oh, okay. Oh, okay. Our next one is Galileum, which, you know. Okay, and then we have Materia, I think. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. And then the last one we have is Magnesium. Okay, can you all see all of those? Okay. Okay. Let's get into this. So, this is, I feel, where we are right now. There's a heaviness hanging on you. Restrictions. Some of you feel like you've got to walk on eggshells where you are currently. I've been in situations like this. I worry that if you are in a relationship or that you are with a roommate, something about this is not safe for you. And it's just not good for you. So it might be time for you to make a clean break, okay? If this is baby witch in a not great household, you might need to endure what we're doing now, but there's going to be a time where you're going to be able to break away free, and you're going to be able to go, I'm so sorry for moving the camera again. You're going to be able to go and break away towards these things over here, you know, balancing your divine feminine and your divine masculine, and being that philosopher and that thinker that you really are inside, being that enchanter, that wondrous, that witch that you are inside. There is this deep thirst of knowledge that you guys have, this big curiosity. And there's fear from outside. And it's interesting because I don't feel like this is, maybe partially, but I feel like it's something you're going to be able to move on from and get over really easily if these things have embedded their way into you and your subconscious, or if they, you know, are trying to restrict you in any way. I see this as something that you're going to really be able to shake off pretty easily over time. But for some of you, this is something that you already know that this is not yours. You already know that this is someone else's baggage and heftiness that they are relying on you to carry around. But there's going to be a time where you're going to drop that. And you're going to be able to open up this whole new part of you. And it's going to allow you to feel so much more whole. Oh God, I'm getting like generational curse breaker vibes. Hardcore over here. And as one of those in my family, I get it. So, you know, it's a tough gig to get, but there really is a lot of beauty and understanding and growth and blossoming that comes from this journey, and you're just going to be a very incredible, thoughtful and considerate and intelligent, creative person. All right, let's see what we can do to get you to that. You know, what are gonna be some of the solutions here that we have? So let's see. Oh, okay. All right, we've got the Five of Swords reversed. We'll look at it upright though. Five of Swords reversed. You have a mentor teaching someone, but it's reversed. So what this is telling you is that, you know, maybe the mentors in your life thus far have not really been right for you. And you're being asked to listen to that inner wisdom and that inner truth that you know is you. You know, that's aligned with you. You know, that's really what you want, who you are. All right, the next card that we have is the Five of Wands. That to me is very much, look at that. Who's the one in here that's catching the fish? It's the one in the background, the smaller one. There's someone, maybe there will be a time that you will meet somebody who will be a better guide for you. You know? Maybe this also could be a guide, a spirit guide that could assist you. But you have the good fortune, you have the abilities, the knowledge to grasp onto the nourishment you need and rein it in, okay? All right, let's get this last card for you. Okay. And the last card we have is Lord of Swords. And this is very much a philosophy card. This is a thinker card. Look at that. We're all in our head and we're connecting to, just consciousness, expansion, growth. There's a lot of fire here. There's a lot of passion here. Look at that little head on fire. You are just having all the thoughts. I love that. A lot of wisdom deep inside that you absolutely have access to and are being encouraged to rely on and to go inward, because that's where the goods are. Okay? And that's where you can find solace also, away from these fears, these misconceptions, these projections, honestly, is really what it feels like, that get thrown your way. you know, I've used that a lot in my life. I'm good at dissociating, which is for a myriad of reasons, but also it's really helpful when you're in environments that are very restricting and that are very toxic and that maybe are just unsafe or claustrophobic or whatever the reason is. There's paradise inside of you. There's better knowing inside of you. So trust that, lean into that, and lean into all that other stuff you like, you know? Read some of those philosophy books. Do a little more research on, you know, the kind of witchcraft that you're interested in. And in classic energy that's just been going throughout this video of the imperfection and chaos being a part of everyday life, my camera died before I could finish this. But group number 3, that is all I have for you today. So, yep, dig into those things, your authentic self, trust yourself. You know you better than anybody else knows you, okay? Okay, group number 3. So thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and please comment if your reading resonated. I appreciate you very much for watching. All right, see you later, group number 3. Bye.